But it's definitely, you know, it's a story. And one of the things that drove me bananas this week were media out there like trying to tell other media or trying to tell the people what is a story and what is not a story. Guess what? Elias Pettersson is one of the biggest stories. Anything he does is a fucking story. And one of the bigger stories of this summer is, will he sign or won't he sign? Will he be in the lineup? Will he be in Utica? Will he be in Sweden? These are all massive fucking stories about this team. So don't tell me and tell the people that it's not a story when you know, his GM of his team in Sweden is ruminating about the possibility that he's going back to Sweden. That's a fucking story.
Well, and it went, yeah, no, and it went way further than that. The GM is saying he would be better served,
right,
for, you know, to play another season, and not just, oh yeah, of course they're. I mean, they've got a vested interest. Yes, they want him back, but when the GM is saying for this guy's long-term development, it would be better to stay and play another season in Sweden,
right?
That's not just lip service.
Well, if you want to make the case, and your take is it is lip service and it is self-serving and he doesn't know what he's talking about, go ahead, go and fucking write 1,000 words on that. But don't be out there telling me what a story is and what a story is not. I'll tell you what a story is.
See, and this was the beauty to me. Like,
I was so fucking mad.
But I can tell. But it's been, what, 6 weeks since the Canucks season ended, and Twitter just drops off. Canuck Twitter drops off a cliff. Like, it's been quiet. Let's be honest. Last year at this time, they fired a coach. They hired a coach. The news cycle had some activity. This year, it's been pretty quiet. You know, other than you counting down your prospects, there hasn't been a whole lot going on.
Right.
But this was the week that Snark returned to Canucks Twitter. Like,
right.
You were getting into it with Walker. Blake was getting into it with Beecher. Boulis is coming off the top rope, telling us all how it is, and then writing 1,500 words. Like, yeah. That was the kicker to me.
Oh,
it's
I know.
not a
Drove me
story.
crazy.
Here's 1,500 words.
And, like, so many tweets. I think the world, I do think the world of Boulis. I very good writer, I think he's got great potential in I love that he's part of the media and love that he's regularly covering the Canucks. But fuck me, man. Don't tell me what is I am now declaring if anyone needs to know what a story is, I am the one in Vancouver media who will be telling you what a story is. Me, that's it. No one else. That's it. One person. You want to know what a story is, come to me. That's it. I'm declaring myself the story determiner. Like, I will determine it.
I like that title. It suits you well. I also got a kick out of the fact that you know, I think it started. Sakaris kind of floated this notion that maybe they had a little bit of news on Pettersson, and you had to listen. And so 1040 thought it had this nugget. The 650 guys were just crapping all done. Nah, there's nothing there. Right. You know, and then Beecher, who is the most mild-mannered guy, and again, a guy that's all about the facts, gets it right, all the kind of stuff.
He was just setting the.
But then he drops the "as I tweeted last week," which is essentially him with both middle fingers up to the rest of everybody. Like, I just. That's about as riled up as he gets. But when you get I tweeted last week.
Mad
Beecher. Exactly. Like, I think he wants to be the story determiner.
Yeah, no, and he was everything he said was 100% correct. Like, I don't think Blake quite understood the points he was making, but you know, he was just focused on the one element that you can't. You know, he was talking about how Pettersson's contract can't slide, for one. So if he signs, he's here, essentially. I mean, they could, I guess if he gets to Utica or Vancouver and has a panic attack, they can send him back and fuck the year up. But, and the other case was he was making, which is absolutely right, is they can't advertise him as being part of the Young Stars where he's not in the organization yet. I sell tickets on a guy, like, you can't say.
But if it was right there, if they were that close, and to signing him,
they're not.
Okay, I get this. So, and we'll get into this in a sec. But I'm just saying, if the organization was that close to signing him, and they knew that, and they were confident that he was going to be there in Penticton, I think you could, like, he's your star prospect. You could splash his face with the little asterisk, subject to change, because the players that they use on like, there's no guarantee. Like, any of those faces they used on their poster could get hurt. Could come down with mono. Like, there's no guarantee that the poster boys are going to be in Penticton. So I think you could, if you knew within the next week that you were going to sign Pettersson, you could have put his face on the poster.
There's an entanglement here that he belongs to a team in Sweden.
I understand that. So
you can't sell tickets.
I get that.
Like, Beecher did a great job explaining, I thought, anyway. So it seems to you that you're still confused.
No. I'm not gonna, lose my shit over that part of it.
But it is like. Couple of things. One, there were no negotiations during the World Championships. You can't negotiate with a player until his season is over. His season ended. He was waiting thumb surgery. They weren't negotiating during that time. Okay? So they aren't this close or that close. Like, one of the things, and this is the other thing. I went on, so then Sekeres and that show, Wadden, they're like, come on and talk Pettersson. I'm like, fuck, great, man. Like, I'll go on and talk Pettersson. I feel like I know this story inside out. I've talked to everyone that has to do with the Canucks on this while working on my feature, and I've talked to people that are really close to Pettersson. So I go on there. I'm on there for half an hour. I get off, and I'm like, fuck, that was like it was one of those times where I got off and thought, like, I did a really good job. I hit the right tone. I gave them good information. I added some layers to the story that maybe other people didn't know about. So I thought it was one of those times where I felt good about myself. And then, like, a few minutes later, a half an hour later, I'm looking at Twitter, and they had Mackenzie on to talk about Pettersson. And they gushed, like, great stuff from Bob McKenzie on Pettersson. This is unbelievable. Like, Blake tweets it out. 1040 tweets it out. This is amazing. Like, look what he said about Pettersson. I'm like, what? I just felt like it ruined my whole weekend. Like, all the rest, like, since that time. So I guess we're 17 hours since then. It was around 5 o'clock. Last night, whatever it is, till now, I've been thinking, like, what the fuck did Bob say that was so amazing? Like, I'm intimidated to even listen to it, to, like, hear what's so amazing that he got that I didn't get, because I feel like I know this story inside out, and now I'm thinking, like, does Bob know something I don't know about this? Like, what's so great about? Did you hear what he said?
I didn't hear the McKenzie segment.
Oh my god!
But now you've got me wanting to go back and listen to it.
Knocked me out by the knees, man. I was like, fuck me. Like, great stuff from. What about me? What about my stuff? Wasn't it great?
This is what happens when you take a week off. You kind of lose the focus here.